So today we're reviewing a weapon that you've probably never used, probably never heard of, or probably never even thought about, and it's the Voyage. This is a event schematic from the Wild West set that can be gone, of course, when the Wild West llamas return. They also, like, cowboy llamas, I don't know, they go by a lot of names within the community, and I think they're primarily just called Wild West llamas. That's what they're called in the llama shop when they return, so I'll just be calling them Wild West llamas for the rest of this video. But point being, these can be gotten from those llamas, and it's a sniper rifle, of course, you can't tell, but it's not a sniper rifle in the sense of you fire it, the enemy dies, it's done and over, but more of like a DMR-esque weapon where the weapon shoots like fairly quickly, more similar to like what's the weapon? More similar to the Grunt. It's very similar to this weapon where you tap in visually, and it's fairly slow, but it has a very good damage output. Now, personally, I don't suggest this rifle, but that'll be a different video for a later time, so yeah. But with the Bon Voyage, which is its name, I don't remember if I said its name or not, but it's called the Bon Voyage. But with the Bon Voyage, it's a slow-firing sniper rifle that's meant to be more of like a DMR-esque weapon, and takes well of enemies pretty well. Of course, crazy, I know, right? But point being, with this weapon, you are meant to be at a distance, maybe like a sniper tower, or just like on a mountain or something where they can't access you. You're meant to really pick off enemies with this, and since it's more like a DMR, and it has the 6th perk of the Steam Cloud when you kill an enemy, it can be used for, like, let's say there's a trap tunnel and you're at the opposite side of it. You can't shoot a trap tunnel, they'll walk into it and it'll do its thing. It is super tasty for that, but these are the 6 perks I'll be running with it. It's just crit damage, crit rating, all that stuff. Just the pretty normal build. It is a sniper rifle. You can run with headshots, but of course, enemies are moving, they're stumbling, they're staggering, they're kind of going everywhere. So when it comes to weapons like this, where you're kind of meant to shoot targets, kill them, and then, you know, kind of go to your next target, like pretty efficiently and quickly, it just feels nicer to use critical and crit damage. So yeah. As per usual, we're using a very, 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 very basic sniper build with Rabbit Raider Jonesy, total wrecking out, and the rest. If you watch the Zapotron video, Third Rail video, any other sniper video, which I feel like I make a ton of these for some reason, this is what I've always used with a couple differences at some points, but this is just the very basic one for this review today, so yeah. Also, something I want to mention real quick is that for the rest of the month, I will be live streaming every night. So far, we've been streaming Viva Pinata, Triple in Paradise, and it's been pretty fun. You guys come, you guys go, it's fine. It's fun. I'm having fun. I hope you're having fun if you join. And of course, I'll be doing that later tonight at 8 p.m. my time. I don't know, honestly. But point being, I'll be going live, and I hope to see you there. So yeah. Anyways, let's get a game and let's test this out because I think it might have some opportunities to be really good. Already we are in game and I have a copy crafted. I've already been testing out this weapon a bit off stream, or off video too, but point being, I've been testing it, and you know, I'm kind of tired of doing just purely blind reviews as of recent. I kind of want to have a bit of a clue what I'm testing out. So I did a little testing, not a big whole review where like, these values seem to be great. You know, I didn't do something like that. I just did a little bit of a test to make sure that it wouldn't be obnoxious to use at the end game. So yeah, but we have the weapon crafted. I'm just going to try to find some enemies. This might be a good sniping spot from up here. We don't have enemy down there, but you get rid of that shield bubble because that'll be the biggest issue. Now you see, it is fairly slow firing, but the damage is fairly fine. And if they're like that, oh, okay, that just went through the shield. But as you see, it died. Steam crowd appeared. It killed it. Blah blah blah. Point being, it did the damage. It did the damage. What more would you really want, in my question? You know. But we do have a cannon, so I should still test this out. They all died to the Steam Cloud before I could actually shoot them myself. Now let's focus on the mist monsters and the things that might shoot us in the face, which, well, we killed. I don't really know more to say about that. Honestly, it's not the most pretentious weapon. Like, you know, like doing the assault rifle builds where it's like, yep, it's an assault rifle. What do you want me to say? You know, this feels fairly unique to itself, you know? It's not like a triple tap or a Zapotron, you know? It's kind of kind of its own little boat of existence, which is fairly nice feeling. Makes you really want to like keep your distance, you know, it doesn't make you feel like you gotta, you know, be kind of running around doing your thing, like, oh, if you're not this close, and your target might not be hit, you know, like, you know, it's accurate, you know, it's not like Trip Tap, where the Trip Tap, you know, it kind of deviates from the reticle, you know, it feels nice. I don't know how to really word it, because it just feels good. Also recently, a little self-update. I've actually been cutting back on caffeine, and it feels good. You know, I don't my thoughts don't feel as crowded, I guess. I think part of my problem is just I just consume an absolute ton of caffeine. But of recent, I've, you know, kind of went cold turkey, and I feel fine. You know, I just, instead of drinking coffee and, you know, nothing else, you know, well, I have water throughout the day. But, like, point being, I would drink coffee, then, like, not have breakfast or lunch, then I'll have, like, dinner. You know, instead of doing that, I actually have breakfast, I make myself a lunch, and then I have dinner. You know, an actual, like, full day of meals. So, I think that's helping it too. And it's nice, you know? It's really nice. Also, I'm still a little bit upset about the fact that, there was a big Halo collab for this season, but there's no Arbiter. Literally my favorite character in Halo are the Arbiter, or the Arbiter, and the Singheili, or Elites, they're also known by. But, like, those are my favorite things of Halo, and we didn't get anything around them. We have the back bling with for like the hard mode thing, but like that's kinda it. I really want the Arbiter in Fortnite, but I guess we're not gonna get it, which saddens me, you know. But it's a video game. I'm not really upset about it. And, you know... Oh no, they didn't take my money. like, I could be upset about it, yeah, but, like, you know, there's no point of crying over it, since... In the end, I'm saving money. It's just, I don't get to be my favorite character in a video game. That's kinda it. It's a big deal, but, like... It was my one wish for this season, you know? The Arbiter. Because, God, I love the Arbiter. So cool armor, cool character, like, honestly, great writing. And it just didn't get it. And, you know, kind of upsetty spaghetti. Also, I might stream Halo at some point in the future. I am reinstalling the Master Chief Collection. Because, I like the Master Chief Collection because it has, like, Halo 3 and ODST. AKA, like, the first Halo games I ever played. So, you know, it might be fun. Maybe do some PvP on a live stream. Which I'm not good at, by the way, so it'll be interesting. Because I can do the campaign fine, it's just I can't really do the PvP well. So, yeah. I would cut the camera, or I would not cut the camera, but I'd cut the recording right now. But, like, I kind of want to see if we can rescue this survivor. If it'll be a quick rescue or bad rescue. Oh, it's Ned. Hi, Ned. I thought you were going to be further down there. Anyway, since it's Ned, I'm just going to cut the camera. Well, not camera, but recording. Wording, am I right? Alrighty, the mission defense has begun. I was going to come back and pick up more enemies, but I decided to help out with the defense a bit because it was a bit behind. But I think I did good. I added the wall darts. I didn't add this section, but it works because they're using broadsides properly, which I love to see. It is honestly, seeing proper use of broadsides makes me really happy. I really don't know why. I think it's just something my brain really hates seeing, is proper usage of stuff and inefficiency. But as you see, the sniper rifle is doing fairly well. I'm not doing fairly well in hitting my shots, but you know, it's a sniper. Now it does seem to be a little bit reliant on a crit, but if we pop a wafer and target on this spitter blaster, whatever I call it usually. Still call it spitters personally, but I know they're blasters, and a lot of people call them blasters, I believe. So for technicality and understandability, I gotta call them blasters. Even though personally, I've always called them spitters. I am being surrounded right now and getting my butt whooped. I need to pop in a corner and have some campfires. Yeah. I really don't know what to say about the weapon, because it's just a sniper rifle that is fairly good at its task of, you know, picking off enemies or using it on bigger targets. Like, you know, it's a weapon. But it does have that good functionality of the steam cloud, which, you know, they walk into it, they take good damage. Oh my god. Was that more than... That was more than half its health. Oh my god. That's really good. But the point being, it's another fairly simple weapon, but a very functional one, which is super tasty. And it has a very unique use case of the steam cloud. You know, big target, they're in the trap tunnel, you shoot it down that, you kill the target, they take damage, other enemies around it take damage. It's really good. You know, I don't really know what I could say, because it's just kills. You know, it's not always instantaneous, of course, admittedly, but it's super good. Because, like, they're coming up that ramp, so they have a sharp turn they need to take for it to go to it directly, and they just take that damage. You know, they lose their health. They die, you know. What more do you really want? Look at that! There's like, what, 3-4 zombies? Not zombies, but husks, whatever you want to call them, right there. And they're just gone. They're just gone. Super interesting. Super tasty, super interesting, and fairly unique, especially since this is a rarely ever used weapon. You know? You think due to its great damage output, it would be used more commonly, but no. It's honestly really surprising to me. Super interesting. And if they get frozen, you can shoot that cloud. It'll clear out the traps to the radius, because I think it is roughly one tile, or just about. It's really good. Now, next match, I think I will use it at a bit more of a distance. We are using it fairly up close, because it is, retrieve the data. I should have thought about that before I loaded it in, but it was only a match available, so I took what I got. I can't really show it off as a sniper, more of like a close weapon, which it can work as. There's nothing wrong with that. But usually when you're using a sniper rifle, usually far away. Unless it's a bow with a Stoneheart Barra. You know, I think that's one exception to sniper rifle builds. Is, you know, the bows. Because usually up close, and you're always kind of just wiping enemies with Stoneheart, with the fact that you know, it's how that works. I don't really got much to say on it, because, you know, there's not really bad with it. It's just not my way to play. But I'll cut back when we get the mini-boss. Alrighty, the mini-boss has arrived. We are taking a lot of damage at the fort, so let's try to clear out some of the enemies. And it is a melee mini-boss. That means we need to pull out a sword and go test it out this way. I'm about to die, because I went AFK for a second to grab out a weapon I needed. So since I can't really talk about the weapon while doing the mini-boss with the melee, as intended, I'll just cut back when the next match happens, so yeah. Alrighty, we are in a new match. Let's, actually, yeah, we need to go craft ourselves a, new copy of the Bon Voyage. It's almost broken, and I kind of want seamless-ish footage, preferably. Doesn't have to be seamless, but it would be a lot better if it was. Let's just go recycle some traps we don't really need. And, yes. Our element is nature, so let's go equip our rocket launcher. And I did swap out our build for Redline Ramirez in the lead and a couple of different heroes. I'll pop up a screenshot of the build I am using. But as you see, it makes it fire fairly faster with that 45% boost to the fire rate with Redline Ramirez. So it does make it fairly more easy to use and target enemies. But you do lose that big bonus to the crit. But as you can see, it's doing fairly fine, and it makes it feel a lot more like the DMR from Battle Royale, which is fairly interesting, honestly. Just switch out the ammo type and the model. I don't think people would actually realize the difference between the two, which is interesting. Now, we do have a Smasher somewhere. Oh, it's right above us. I was like, I heard the sleeping sound effect, like, oh, there's a Smasher nearby. I didn't actually really look. But as we can see, against a Smasher with Redline Ramirez in the lead, it isn't doing as much damage, but if we swap out to a different weapon, you can see that it's doing fairly better. Now, we do have a teammate helping out, which, you know, in normal case would be appreciated. But since we're reviewing a weapon, it is a little annoying. But of course, it's not their fault, it's my fault for not notifying, which I never do, because I feel like part of the surprise is seeing what our teammates do. So, you know, it's appreciated, but not good for a review. Alrighty, time for a little bit of per video information. But can you see those little modifiers at the top right? Nature. Well, as you know, nature does 2x damage to metal. And then there's metal corrosion, which isn't as much of an issue. It only gets activated by basic husks, which is just the standard one, not the husky husk, not the mist monster, not the pitchers, none of those, just the normal husk, which affects the metal, makes it corrode over time. Not even a big deal, personally, because the damage isn't that noticeable. It goes on for a long time. That's the one downside. And then flame gill traps, basically useless. Basically useless. Never use these. I get it, it's a nature mission, and the fire will be doing 2x damage to the nature husks. But even then, the better alternative would just be the normal spike traps. I'll pop it up on screen. That would be the one you want to go for, even in a use case like this. Now, with my defense, you see, they enter here, they get knocked back, they get frozen. Like, there's a whole theme to it. These will stop the propanes. These will just help clear out things if they get up back there and enter here. This will do that, so if in case they get there, that'll stun the Smasher if this is already activated. This will stun them back, and then, that'll cycle. And, if they're coming back from here, which they will be, that will take care of them. If they decide to attack this for some reason, which they sometimes do, this will kill them, this will kill them, this will kill them. And then, they're over here, they enter here, these will zap to the center, because where they're at. And they might go to the corner, try to break it, because I think the corners do have less health than the normal ones. No, they're the exact same, actually. Interesting. But point being, the damage should be fine with my side. But I am worried for this, because this is all they have protecting it. Now, these are meant to be more or less 2 tiles down. They have a 2.5 reach, which means it will be hitting stuff occasionally, but it's more effective at the 2-tile range, so this should be lowered down by a bit. This is fine, just the flame gill traps is like the really only issue I see with it, and the lack of more trapping. With this is perfectly fine. You don't need to overbuild, and if you overbuild, that's what causes the flingers to spawn, which is why when I see people overbuild with the floating atlases, I point out the issue, and they get all defensive and swear up and down they know what the fuck they're doing, even though they clearly don't. It's kind of a little... Anyways, little rant section over. Let's get to the gameplay. And with the new hero in the lead that boosted... No, not new hero, but the hero we're using for this part of the review. Of course, she increases the fire rate by 45%, which is super tasty, super good. Which means we do get to hit more shots. And it does seem to be... It feels better. It seems to be doing better. I don't know if that was just a couple lucky crits we got. Our teammate is using a minigun build with the Chromium Jonesy, I think he's called. Very good hero, especially for nature elements, or elements in general, for, enemies. Now, usually I would prefer Commando, but what he's doing completely works, and actually might be better for the situation, better than the endgame. I honestly don't know, because I never really looked into hero perks for the endgame. Well, not hero perks, but hero abilities. I know Teddies are, something you'd usually never want to do for that. And the metal one is, of course, taking a bunch of damage. Yeah, let's go fix that. Thank you, teammate. I appreciate your, what's the word? Assistance, I believe? Or the... I don't know. Point being, I need to craft some ammo, because I'm almost out. In the midst of a review. Really terrible of me, I know, I'm sorry. But as you see, the weapon, it's performing fairly better with the fire rate, very similar to the Super Shredder situation, where with the Super Shredder, it felt nicer to use Redline in the lead because it was just doing more damage more consistently, more fastly. And with the Affliction, it did also help that out. Now, with the Affliction perk aside, this doesn't have that, let me clarify. With this weapon, though, it does feel a little bit more reliant for the crowd clearing. You do kind of want that 6 perk because you shoot the enemies. When one dies, if the cloud appears, it does a bunch of damage. It's super tasty, super good. No, I shouldn't have done that, because now they have an opening to here, but I can just do that, and that kind of fixes the issue momentarily. But there isn't really much to say, add, or subtract. It is fairly bare bones. Oh, and it looks like they actually got through at some point, but they replaced it with wood. Interesting, wood isn't that bad, but usually you don't, for especially endgame defenses, you don't want to use a replacement build as wood. You usually want to do the matching element. But wood upgrades faster and heals faster and all that stuff, so I can see why maybe, but I still would have preferred if they used, just brick. But I don't really got much I can really add or say about this weapon, besides me not missing any of my missing all my shots. Not any of my shots. I'm missing my shots. I just did it the other way around. But point being, I don't got anything I can really add, so I'll see you at the mini boss. Okay, the mini boss is here, but my defense is getting absolute barmed, or whatever the word. Honestly, I'm in such a rush. My brain is honestly kind of rushing right now, so I can't really think of a word. I'm thinking bombarded? I don't know. Point being, mini boss, yay! It's Ricochet. That's not really a big issue for me though. Damage-wise, against a normal mini boss, it isn't performing all that well. I can't really tell what damage is mine. So, honestly, quick assessment. Definitely not a mini boss weapon, but it's very good for crowds, single targets, and such on such forth. So, mini bosses are like the only thing I really don't suggest for this. So, yeah, that's actually a very good thing. Because most of the time, if it doesn't work with a mini boss or a mist monster, it's usually a weapon you kind of want to avoid. With this, of course, you just do this. Go la-boom, and then you go back to the primary, which happens to be the sniper rifle in this situation, since it is a bit more of a DMR, and it, does its job. Honestly, there's so much going on right now. I'm kind of rushing, panicking. So what if it, I'm stuttering. Yeah, it's the whole thing. It's the whole thing. Yikes. That's all I can say. Just yikes. But yeah, I'll see you back in lobby for the final analysis. Ouch. So, would I suggest the Bon Voyage as a primary weapon in Fortnite Save the World? Yes, it can work. Only issue is that it fires only a bit slowly, but that can be easily fixed by adding a fire rate perk, or just by using Redline Ramirez in the lead. It's flexible-ish. I think that's one of the biggest issues with it, is that it's flexible-ish. It also does have Swiss Army Knife perks, which means you can perk it with a bunch of wacky ways, which is super fun, depending on how you want to play, or depending on your play style. We all have our preferences, and this might be a fun one, depending on how you use it. Personally speaking, I just like a bit more bare bones, with a little bit of uniqueness, but I like my uniqueness when the 6 perk is cool, and when the heroes make it more interesting. But, personally speaking, yeah, it can work. Outly speaking, depends. So, I don't know what to tell you. Anyways, I hope you see you late night with Creature Night, because I will be streaming Viva Pinata Trouble in Paradise. And I hope you enjoyed. Goodbye.